Hi listeners, I wanted to talk to you about something that I've done today. I had hypnotherapy done today. Now, I'm a skeptical person when it comes to this sort of thing. This is something that I had no idea what to expect, to be honest with you. I walked in there with an open heart, open mind. We all see hypnotherapy on TV where it's all, comedy and quacking like ducks and dancing like crazy people, the shows that you watch on TV, and you hear about the historical parts of hypnotherapy where there were sideshows of people doing weird things. But so I think everyone looks at it that way quite easily, which I probably was as well, to be honest with you. So skepticism was definitely there. But I did recently talked to a beautiful gentleman recently on a podcast, and he explained to me that he actually does hypnotherapy for people and offered to do a session for me. It's taken me a couple of weeks to sort of make a decision on whether it's right for me and whether I'd be happy to continue and have a go. So I actually decided to say yes. And I went into his home this morning. And my appointment was at 10:30 this morning, which is a Sunday. Walked into his little office he's got in his home. This is after meeting his wife, of course, and being welcomed into the home. Went into his office, sat down on a beautiful, comfortable reclining chair. He sat opposite me on an office chair, and explained to me not necessarily he just explained the process, but also how the mind relaxes, and how our mind is usually active, and we don't get to the point where our mind is completely at peace unless we're asleep, of course. So after we did all the introductions and the information about what I was looking for, and I explained to him that I suffer from depression and anxiety, and I have no self-worth, and I talked to him about being bullied all through my schooling life and staying under the radar. No one really knew I was there. I think I tried to minimise myself so that people didn't know that I was there, trying to hide, I guess. But I think that the bullying has affected me all through my life. And it's interesting because he said, well, maybe now you're bullying yourself. And I probably am, because I negative talk myself all the time. So that was an interesting discussion. But anyway, so he asked me to take off my glasses and just to relax comfortably. So I put my feet up on the recliner, and I just had my hands on the armchairs, at the side of the armchairs. And he pretty much just went through like a meditation, to feel each part of your body and just to relax each part of your body. I'm not going to go into it in detail. And then, as you're relaxing more, you're going into a safe space. And then he took me to a place of when I was younger and being bullied. I'm not going to go into that any further, but at that point, I will tell you, at that point, I did have tears rolling down my cheeks. I wasn't crying outwardly. It was, outwardly, obviously, yes, because there was tears down my cheeks, but it wasn't like I was bawling or anything like that. I just had tears running down my cheeks. Anyway, the feeling that I'll just tell you the feeling that I had. The feeling that I had was my lower back was getting really, really hot, as if the seat had heating in it. It was not burning, but it was very hot on my lower back. I also saw a lot of colours in my eyes. Now, the colours were only purples, pinks, dark reds, maroons, that sort of colour. And it was like a conveyor belt of colours running from left to right of my eyes. and then it would go dark, and then it would get really, really bright, as if someone was shining a light in my eyes. That's really all I can remember. And after talking, or after waking up, or after being more alert, I explained my feelings, and he said that the purples and the reds are from your lower back or bottom area chakra. So maybe I was healing myself in the areas that I needed to be healed. Now, last week or the last few days, I've had a lot of problem in my lower back. More problems in the fact that I had to go to hydrotherapy and a physiotherapist, which is something I don't normally do. So whether I was trying to heal myself through my mind, I don't know. But yeah, so I saw all these colours. I also felt like I was the chair. My arms were the arms of the chair. I felt like I sunk into the chair. I couldn't, it's as if I wanted to move my hand, I couldn't move my hands. I could hear everything that was going on. I was conscious about everything was going on. I was in complete control, but yet I was in a state of complete relaxation. It's really hard to explain it. There was nothing weird or unusual about it all. I'm not even sure whether I got anything out of it, but the fact that I had this colour sensation, my back was hot. I felt like I was one with the chair, and I had tears rolling down my cheeks. That's my experience. Now, when I finished and I came away, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. I feel like I need to have a sleep. And that's still on the cards. So, yeah, skeptical? I don't know. Would I do it again? Yes, I think I would do it again. I felt safe, comfortable. Yeah, it's really hard to explain the feeling. But to all those people out there that are skeptics or not sure, all I can say to you is just give it a try. What can you lose? You know, it was the whole session was taped on his phone, voice recording. So if there was any issues and you were worried about, you could always go back to it. But as I said, I was very conscious about every noise that I heard. Outside I could hear the wind blowing the trees against the window. My stomach rumbling, all that sort of. I could hear everything, so I was very conscious about what I could hear. So that's my experience of hypnotherapy today. And yeah, for anyone who's not sure, as I say, the only way that you're going to know is to give it a go. And I'm glad I give it a go. And yes, I will do it again. Because I believe that each episode may be something different. I didn't see anything, I didn't see any visions. I didn't see anything like that at all. I couldn't see my past. I couldn't see myself. All I kept seeing was these colours. And I didn't feel uncomfortable in any way whatsoever. The gentleman that was doing it with me, I felt very safe with and comfortable with. He had a beautiful, relaxing voice. He's very empathetic, and yeah, it was just an experience I'm glad I had. And if anyone else out there is not sure or on the fence of whether to do it or not, yeah, why not? Give it a go. So that's my hypnotherapy session. So if anyone's got any questions, you're welcome to ask me, although I don't know whether I'll be able to answer them. Certainly can't answer them on a technical, clinical way. I can only answer from my experience that happened this morning. And if you want contacts for the person that actually did my hypnotherapy, he's in Rockingham, and I'm sure he'd be happy for me to pass that information on in a private message. But yeah, so upwards and onwards and upwards, as they say. I'll talk to you later, and thanks for listening. Take care, everybody.